Arknights!
Caper is a 4-star loop shooter sniper. She first became available in the Zwillingssturm im Herbst event through the Purchase Certificate store, requiring 900 total certs to unlock and maximize the potential of her. Caper, real name Carly Lander, has 2 years of combat experience, likely coming from her time running a small troublemaking gang in her hometown. She stands 150 centimeters tall, was born on the 20th January in Bolivar, and is of the Countess race, likely an Andorra rabbit. In our archive files, it's noted that Caper arrived at Rhodes Island with one singular pursuit: fun. She loves toys, jokes, and exhilarating challenges, but her favorite pastime is playing with others, a phrase that in her case means toying with them without their consent, as Lancet 2 unfortunately discovered firsthand when Caper tricked her into a fake system upgrade that left her depressed for days. Her antics have drawn discomfort from a sizable number of operators who doubt her ability to show respect, though others have been more accepting, noting that she has yet to cause any real damage. Still, the general unease surrounding her remains, as she appears entirely unaware of the consequences of her actions, a troubling quality, especially for a child. Caper's field missions are a nerve-wracking experience for her fellow operators, as her methods are wildly unpredictable and steeped in chaos, such as loosening a truck's screw, sending it crashing into an enemy's base, and then calmly roasting marshmallows over the resulting fire. Despite appearances, her missions are completed with remarkable effectiveness, a testament to her keen insight that far exceeds her age, though she herself sees no distinction between fieldwork and pulling pranks. Her behavior is deeply rooted in her Bolivarian upbringing, where orphan children survive by finding thrills amid constant chaos, learning to wield weapons before they could even read, and growing up to become professional hoodlums who stirred up trouble for local factions. By those standards, Caper is considered remarkably restrained. At the very least, her explosions have never gotten anyone hurt or killed. Born Carly Lander to a single mother in a Bolivarian slum, Caper showed an early genius for pranks, orchestrating elaborate schemes against corrupt soldiers and local thugs alike, and was widely expected to take over the streets after she outwitted the feared gang leader, Redhead, only to instead disband the gang and establish just 2 rules: no hurting anyone, and be home by 5:30. She lived happily by those rules, causing harmless chaos with her friends each day until about 2 years ago, when contracting oropathy led to falling out with her mother and her eventual departure from the city, giving rise to the operator now known as Caper. Beneath her reckless exterior, however, a telling moment from her childhood reveals her true character. Upon realizing her birthday prank could have endangered the shopkeeper, she rushed back to warn them, only to find her mother inside, spending 3 months' wages on a gift for her. Her mother had always known and trusted her daughter to never really hurt anyone, a faith that, by all accounts, Carly never betrayed. Since settling into Rhodes Island, Caper has found herself in unfamiliar territory. Her pranks no longer land with the shock she expects, and genuine fun is so readily available for her that old habits have become unnecessary, leaving her for looking, once, a little helpless. Rhodes Island staff monitor her closely given the risks associated with those transitioning out of chaotic lifestyles, but found no signs of depression or anxiety, only a deep, almost mathematical curiosity as she quietly took in her new surroundings. In time, it became clear that she is far more mature than she appears, able to recognize what she truly wants, and actively testing her environment to find it, as seen when she turned a simple kicked can into a moment of genuine joy for sick children in the ward, before gently reminding them that there were plenty of other games still to play. She left home in search for a place where happiness doesn't exist to mask pain, but simply exists, and by all accounts, Rhodes Island just may be that place. Caper's beloved toy, which she calls Twirly Twirl, in truth is a weapon, reverse-engineered to be over 70% Bolivarian military parts. Yet it originated from a place of tenderness, handcrafted by her mother from worn factory scraps because the family could never afford the dolls in the shop windows. Caper herself seems unbothered by its nature, noting that without it, she would have had nothing to play with but discarded crossbow bolts, which she considers far less interesting. Though some operators have raised concerns about her freely wielding it, she has not technically violated any rules in doing so. Its most notable achievement to date remains having successfully kept several Paro operators, CB Chief among them, chasing it back and forth in the same spot for an entire afternoon. Caper is confirmed to be infected. She has a cell originum assimilation of 5% and a blood originum crystal density of 0.16 parts per liter. The notes in her medical file state that there are some crystals present around her hands, and though Caper avoids intentional contact with originum, its commonplace in Bolivar and its slums was sometimes unavoidable. In her character art drawn by Usu, Caper wears a black knitted turtleneck sweater as well as a black pleated skirt underneath a large white raincoat. With black cuffs, a black hood with ear holes for bunny ears, red gloves, 4 tufts around the neck of her jacket, a bandolier with 3 canisters for her twirly twirl attached to it, 2 red socks with mismatched lengths, and black boots with red soles that also have tufts on them. She holds her twirly twirl in her right hand with a blade loaded into it. In her voice lines, voiced by Miharu Hanai, who also voices Tomoe Murakami in Idolmaster, Yukino Akashi in D4DJ, Lier in Dropkick My Devil, and Twin Turbo in Uma Musume, Caper enjoys pulling pranks and teasing the Doctor.
サインしてくれた?やったー!ありがとね、ドクター!何をそんなに喜んでるのかって?これ、私の有給届だからだよん。私がやってたお仕事ってのは、いたずら代行だよ。稼ぎになれば、商売相手が連合政府だろうと、シンガス王朝だろうと、トゥルーボリバリアンであっても、大して変わらないよ。睨み合ってる勢力の両方から依頼を受けることもあってね。行く時に一丁かまして、帰りにもう一丁仕掛けるの。ああいう大騒ぎったらたまんないよ。はい、コーンスナック。いる?ちょっと、わしづかみにして口に放り込むだなんて乱暴すぎるよ。手を出して、教えてあげる。こうやって、一本ずつ指にかぶせていくの。そんで、ごちそうさま。自称イケメンのリーベリに、マイペースなバルポの整備士。それからあの食いしん坊な私の同居。マジでどっからこんなに面白いメンツを揃えてきたわけ?やっぱあんたらについてきて正解だったわ。缶蹴りサッカーって知らない?私の一番好きな遊びなんだけどさ、排水口から適当に缶とか金属のガラクタを拾えばできる。って、何その顔。暮らし向きが悪いからって、楽しみを見つけることに関しちゃ負ける気しないよ。なんなら、勝負してみる?
At A2 level 70 with max trust, potential, and module, Caper has 2,380 HP, 718 attack, 160 defense, 0 resistance, a 66-second redeploy time, 12 DP cost, and has a 1-second attack speed. Her range is the standard range for a loop shooter sniper. At max trust, she gains plus 65 attack. At max pot, she gains minus 2 DP cost, plus 23 attack, minus 4 seconds to redeploy, and a buff to her talent. Her talent, Larking About, at E2 pot 4, when Caper is attacking, there's a 25% chance to increase the attack of that attack to 160%. Caper has 2 base skills, with one unlocking at E1. Her first base skill, Clue Search Alpha, makes it so that when Caper is assigned to the reception room, she has plus 10% clue search speed. Her second base skill, Innocent Smile, makes it so that when Caper is assigned to the reception room, and if there is a clue exchange going on, she gets plus 30% clue search speed. Caper's first skill, Power Strike Beta, gains SP from attacking and is automatically triggered, with all levels starting with 0 SP. Level 7 needs 4 SP to proc, while M3 needs 3 SP. At level 7, the attack of her next attack is increased to 200%. At M3, it's increased to 230%. Her second skill, Double the Fun, gains SP from attacking and is manually triggered. Level 7 starts with 12 SP and needs 29 SP to proc, lasting for 17 seconds, while M3 starts with 15 SP, needs 25 SP to proc, and lasts for 20 seconds. At level 7, Caper gains plus 40% attack, and each attack fires one more projectile. At M3, it's plus 60% attack. Caper has an LPS Dax X module, named Where the Warmth Remains, which makes it so that her attack is increased to up to 110% when attacking foes in the surrounding 8 tiles. At module level 3, Larking About is fully upgraded, making it so that, when attacking, Caper has a 30% chance to increase the attack of that attack to 170%. She also gains plus 180 HP and plus 30 attack. To unlock and fully upgrade this module, you must have Caper at E2 level 40, have 100 trust with her, have your own Caper use her S2 a total of 8 times, 3 stars stage 4-2 having Caper defeat at least 8 foes, and have 3 module data blocks, 15 data patching strips, 5 data patching devices, 4 Aura clusters, 5 Aura rock clusters, 6 grindstones, and 75,000 LMD. Loop shooter snipers are a weird class of snipers, where how fast their attack speed is depends on how quickly their projectile comes back to them after they attack, as well as having a large attack range including some tiles behind them. Caper, much like other loop shooters, works best when attacking foes at shorter ranges, which allows her to attack more quickly since the projectile comes back to her quickly, and against slower enemies. Her talent is quite basic, only having a 1 in 4 or 1 in 3-ish with module chance to crit, and the same goes for her S1, which just raises the attack of her next attack. Her S2 does offer some utility and maybe a bit of fun, where it adds 1 more projectile for each attack, allowing for multiple projectiles to exist at once instead of just the one like most loop shooters have. But outside of her S2, Caper's kit is extremely basic and not really that interesting or good to use, especially considering that 6-star loop shooter Narantuya exists, and her projectiles can bounce between foes depending on the skill you have selected. But since Caper is the first of her subclass to be introduced, and a 4-star operator at that, it's kinda to be expected that she'd have a worse performance than higher rarity compatriots. The targets that work best for her as well, slow and close range foes, typically have a higher defense, meaning that her damage will be minimal against them. Overall, lower priority to raise, but she can be fun to experiment in some stages. Thank you for watching. Please follow my Twitter and Blue Sky for updates, and please check out my other Azure Lane and Uma Musume videos as well. Check back tomorrow for next week's character teasers.